Hey everyone, welcome to Logan's Mosh Pit. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to do another episode of the Breaking Down Songs series, the place where we take a closer look at some of my favorite songs from all kinds of different bands and analyze the lyrics, because when we do that, we gain a deeper appreciation for the music we listen to. If there's a specific band you guys want me to talk about in a future episode of the Breaking Down Songs series, please leave a comment down below. I'll check your feedback. Today we're going to talk about my favorite Scorpions song. Got the blackout shirt on and everything. In my opinion, the Scorpions arguably lead the way for reliable rock/metal bands. The Scorpions often blur the line between hard rock and heavy metal. You can't really put the Scorpions definitively into one genre because they contain characteristics of both. Sometimes the Scorpions resemble a hard rock band, sometimes they resemble more of a metal band. It just depends. You never know what you'll get. So that versatility certainly boosted their profitability. Everything the Scorpions touch, from their debut album all the way through Love at First Sting, basically turned to gold. After that, the song quality faded significantly. Yet, between their first album and Love at First Sting, I would say you can't go wrong. There were barely any duds at all on all those albums. So, let's explore my favorite song from my top 5 Scorpions albums. Now, a universal order just doesn't exist when it comes to Scorpions albums. Everyone has their own ranking. People just can't agree on which album represents the pinnacle of success for the Scorpions, including myself. If you ask a group of fans to name their top 5 Scorpions albums, you would probably receive a different answer from each person that you asked. Nobody would agree. So please don't get too offended by my personal ranking of my top 5 albums. I completely understand whether you agree or disagree with what I say. So, coming in at number 5, from the Virgin Killer album, I selected the quite cathartic Crying Days. Next up, at number 4, off the In Trance album, I picked the incinerating Top of the Bill. At number 3, next up, from Love Drive, I chose a song that vegans will hate. If you're a vegan and you're watching this, just skip ahead. You better skip ahead 10 seconds. You won't like this. I chose a Well Done song called Another Piece of Meat. Next up, at number 2, off Animal Magnetism, I went with the stubborn and sublime Hold Me Tight. Finally, from the Blackout album, Guys, where are you? Oh, I just had my eyes closed. Sorry about that. Anyway, where were we? From the Blackout album, I decided to go with, well, I think the title alone will be sufficient to describe this song, Can't Live Without You. So, I actually rushed to record this video. It took me a very long time to pick my absolute favorite song by the Scorpions between this list of 5 songs. They're all so good. Obviously, I can't analyze the lyrics until I pick my favorite song, so that slowed me down quite a bit. I've only got about an hour left before I have to post this video, so it just took me such a long time to figure out which song I wanted to go with. I'm still not even 100% sure if I want this song to be my favorite or not. I went back and forth between these 5 songs. They're all neck and neck with each other. In the end, I went with Hold Me Tight. So that's the song we're going to discuss today. Now let's go over some background on the Animal Magnetism album. It was released back in 1980, obviously their first 80s studio album and 7th overall album. It contained the singles Lady Starlight, Make It Real / Hold Me Tight, The Zoo / Holiday, and Hey You / The Zoo, one of their most beloved tracks. The Scorpions never minced on singles. Every song was fair game. Every song had a chance to be a single. It was hard for any song on the album to feel left out. Scorpions were generous with singles. So I also want to clarify the lineup for this album because the lineup shifted quite a bit over the years. So the lead singer was Klaus Meine. There's No One Like You, Klaus. Rudolph Shaker and Mathis Jobs handled lead and rhythm guitars. They're extraordinary, but Ole John Roth was untouchable if you ask me. Nobody could replace him effectively. Francis Buchholz took care of bass, and Herman Rearbell was on drums. They all contributed in some form to backing vocals. This album went platinum in the US, but interestingly enough, only 52 on the Billboard Hot 200 chart. I always thought that was intriguing. So now that we've gone over Animal Magnetism, let's move on to Hold Me Tight. Figure out what these lyrics mean. Keep in mind, this is just my interpretation of the lyrics. It's my opinion. My opinion might be different from yours, and that's fine. We all hear these songs differently. There's no right or wrong answer. There's countless different ways to interpret lyrics, so let's respect each other's opinions. I'll also put a link down in the description to Hold Me Tight if you want to listen to it for yourself. Why don't we start off with the first part of verse 1. It goes, "She's the one, that's what I thought, when our love had just begun, but times have changed and I better go." So in this first section, we learn that he's currently in a rocky relationship, but they used to get along great. Things were going fine. However, lately, things have been rough. He clearly wants to move on from this relationship. Let's pick up with the second part of verse 1, which says, "Because it's going to be too late, and all my love will turn to hate. You've always known that music is my life, and I live just for rock and roll. No one can make me change my mind, because I just want to live my life." So, in the second part of verse 1, tells us that it exposes the main problem occupying the song, the main problem pushing the couple apart. Surprisingly, there was no unfaithfulness or cheating involved that caused some tension between them. Wasn't any of that. Instead, he wants to focus solely on his career and put his love life on hold for the foreseeable future. You know, some people are like that. Some people would rather focus on their career and then worry about a relationship. Some people would rather focus on finding the love of their life and then pursuing a career. It all depends on you. In this case, he wants to focus more on his career. Music has become more important than anything else to him. He thinks it would be too complex to have a stable relationship and career, so he decides to go with music. Then we get to the chorus, which goes, "Alright, don't want me to stay. Alright, have it your way. Alright, I'm leaving tonight. Alright, woman, I'll get out of your sight." So in the chorus, we see another curveball. His girlfriend, or possibly wife, doesn't try to stop him at all. Instead, she gets angry at him. She basically tells him to just get out. Doesn't even try to fight for him, just wants him to leave, which he wanted to do anyway. Then we get to verse 2. You're still the one, but you've shown me how independent you've become. Don't tell me you need me to be your ever faithful, strong, loving man. So the first chunk of verse 2, in there we get some extra insight on this woman. Apparently she has some insecurity issues deep down inside, but exhibits this unshakable facade on the outside and acts like nothing phases her. She's just cool all the time. But she was willing to show her true colors around him. She trusted him enough to be herself, basically. This also proves the biggest reason why he fell in love with her, her independence, and also to a big degree the fact that she was willing to be herself around him. That had a lot to do with it. Let's pick up with the next part of verse 2. Don't tell me I'm wrong, I gotta go my way, and you'll see where I belong. You live your life and I live mine. I bet you will turn out fine. So in this section, an argument ensues, presumably later in the day, after he explained that he was going to leave. She tries to convince him that he belongs with her. This is your home, and he will be happier this way. He should stay with her, but he disagrees. He still wants to leave. He says that in the end, splitting up will be the best option for both of them. It will benefit both of them. They will still be okay without each other. They will be able to thrive in life without each other. Then finally, to close out the song, we hear the chorus 3 more times. He's more determined to leave than ever. So let's move on to the mood of Hold Me Tight. Well, the mood seems pretty empowering because, especially during the chorus, he wants to seize control of his life, take his life back, do what makes him happy, even though he has to make sacrifices to reach that point. A lot of people would just rather stay where they feel comfortable. They don't want to get outside of their comfort zone. Not this man. He wants to leave and nothing will stop him from doing that. How about the most memorable line from the song? Which line stands out the most? I picked, "No one can make me change my mind." That line stands out to me because it proves how utterly committed he feels to make this transition, to make a fresh start in life. He won't even consider any other option. He's dead set on completing this goal. How about the themes from Hold Me Tight? Well, one theme would be don't depend on other people for happiness. You frequently see that advice shared on social media. People emphasize that a lot. Better to find happiness through your passions and general outlook on life instead of pouring all your happiness into one person, letting them determine how you feel. You shouldn't do that. If you put your passions and outlook on life first, then you will reap the benefits. That way, happiness will probably last longer. The next theme was you got to plan for the future and what will benefit you the most tomorrow. Don't just focus on living in the moment. It's fine to do day to day. Not all the time. You still got to keep your future in tandem with that. Finally, adaptability. That was all over these lyrics. You should change based on your circumstances in order to reach your full potential. Adaptability is the key. How about the strengths and weaknesses of Hold Me Tight? Well, the strengths, you name it. This song has everything. It checks all the boxes. The vocals slay, the guitars are engaging, the drums were exceptional, the structure is fine, meaningful expression of the lyrics, solid topic, extremely relatable, unpredictable, perfect length, not too long, not too short, catchy, wonderful production, and overall, and most important, a thrill to listen to, unless you're not a hard rock or heavy metal fan. If you're not, I don't know why you're listening to the Scorpions in the first place. So, the only weakness, since I couldn't find anything wrong with the song itself, I picked an extremely petty thing. You have to, since this song is near perfect. The title seemed misleading to me. When you hear Hold Me Tight, you automatically think, oh, this will be a romantic song. No, it's the opposite of that. About someone getting out of their relationship and moving on. So, finally, on a scale of 1 to 10, how replayable is this song? How often are you going to want to come back to this song? Hold Me Tight. On a scale of 1 to 10, replayability on this is through the roof. How can it not be? Like I said earlier, this song does everything right. Everything you expect and more from this song. And proves why the Scorpions have always been a force to be reckoned with. So that does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Until then, rock on.